Emily, and I'm a male to female transgender girl, and I'm working on improving my channel and doing videos that can contribute to the transgender community. I think it's important to be able to relate to people and express your true inner feelings, and going to support groups and availing yourself of videos on YouTube can be very helpful. I've been transitioning now for 2 years, and I'm very comfortable in my transition. And I've gone to therapists, doctors, seeing electrologist. I'm going for voice lessons, and I'm just trying my best as I transition. I'm very envious of a lot of girls that really look much more beautiful and come across more feminine and have such beautiful voices. But I'm going at my own pace, and I think it's important that we are just, concentrating on what is important. When you transition, you're doing something that not many people do, and being transgender is a very difficult situation to be in, and generally you'll know if you're transgender because many transgender like myself knew from an early age. I was between 3 and 4 when I knew I was different, and I gravitated to girly things all throughout my life, but I hid it and pretended and carried on in the male role. I was pretty good at sports, and I was good in technical subjects, math and physics, and I just tried to do the best I could in the male role. I wasn't very good with the girls as far as dating goes. In fact, I was extremely shy, and I felt more like wanting to be like one of the girls. I wanted to fit in and be accepted by the girls, but as a female, I didn't really connect as a guy, and I wasn't very comfortable as a guy. I feel much more happier when I'm dressing and going out and as a woman. I just feel like that's me, and I think it's very healthy for me, and it's part of my healing. And I take hormones. I'm on estradiol, and I take spironolactone, and I'm very comfortable with the changes so far. I wish that the changes were more significant, but I'm trying to do the best I can with my changes, and I feel very happy as a woman. I would love to do all that I can in my transition. I've done research on surgeons that perform the gender reassignment surgery, and if I was able to, I would definitely seek out the services of Dr. Marcy Bowers. I think she's awesome, and she caters to the transgender community, and she's wonderful, and she's just the godsend to the transgender community. And I'm friends with her on Facebook, and I'm friends with a lot of trans people on Facebook. I think Facebook and YouTube and Pinterest and Blogger and Flickr and all of those social media sites, Tumblr, they're very good sites, and they help you to express yourself. I've utilized all my social media sites, and I've put all of them on my About Me page. So if you're interested in seeing that page, um, it gives you a good snapshot of my life, and a lot of my postings deal with being transgender. My blogspot page is www.edwardi.blogspot.com. My About Me page is www.about.me/Emily, EMILY.IANNIELLI.3, the number 3. And you can see all of my postings. I'll even leave a link to that About Me page. If you're interested, you can contact me. If you have any questions on transitioning, you can certainly reach out to me. I'm very accessible, and I'll answer any questions you may have. Certainly leave comments, and also subscribe to my channel. I am very comfortable sharing my story on YouTube and on my other social media sites. I've come a long way. I used to be an extremely shy person, but I'm very much happier now as a female. And I hope one day to do the sex reassignment surgery, but that's kind of not in the near future. That's kind of pushed aside. And also I have to worry about my son. He's 16, and hopefully he'll go to college. He is autistic, so he has his own struggles, but I love my son. I'm his father, obviously. Even though I'm transitioning to become a female, I'll always be his father. And I just feel much happier. I'm in a better place now. When I was trying to live as a male, I was extremely depressed, and I just didn't feel good about my life. I felt very sad, and I just felt awkward, and it was very depressing. I'm gonna try to show some pictures here. This is my baby picture of me as a boy. If you can see, that's me. I don't know exactly my age, but you can see I'm a boy. Certainly now I'm transitioning to be a woman. And here is a wedding picture of me with my wife. I'm very fortunate to have a lovely wife I care very much about. We are still together, and hopefully will be. But I don't know for sure what's going to happen. But, I'm transitioning and doing the best I can, and just wanting to find joy and happiness, and live my life the way I've always felt inside. I have always been drawn to women's clothes, and I cross-dressed all throughout my life. I remember when I used to go to work. I'm an accountant, currently out on disability, but I remember when I used to go to work, I used to wear a suit and tie, and underneath my clothes I would wear a pretty dress, just to keep that female sensibility and be connected to that woman that I knew I always was inside. I know deep down I'm a girl. I've always known that. I've known it since the age of 3. And it doesn't matter how old you are. If you really are certain about your transgender situation, you certainly can transition. There's no deadline. You can do it at any age. Certainly, the younger you are, the better results you'll have, and I think your life will be more fulfilling. because you won't have to deal with the depression and the suicidal thoughts and the going through the motions type of situation in your life. I always felt like I was going through the motions and just pretending, and I was miserable. Um, though I do appreciate having married and having a son, and if I transitioned earlier, that would never have happened. So I must say that I've been blessed in that regard. But I've known all throughout my life that I would have to confront my situation, and I felt that transitioning for me was very important. I didn't know when that would happen, but I knew that eventually I would have to look very seriously into it. And no matter what, you can try to suppress those feelings and pretend that they don't exist, but eventually they'll catch up with you, and you'll just have to do the best you can to deal with them. I couldn't survive as a guy anymore. I got to a point where it was very difficult, and I was very unhappy, and I was always wearing girls' clothes, and I was living in the closet, so to speak. I couldn't take that anymore. I had to break out of that. I needed to be outside and in the public eye as a female, and live a girl's life, a female life. I don't want to be male. I never did, and I don't feel comfortable as a male. I never did. I always felt I was a girl, and I'm very happy. I think you just have to come to accept your situation and do the best you can. We're only human, and we have our failings in life. We have our insecurities. There's no such thing as being perfect. And I don't personally, there are a lot of trans girls, I don't know where they get the money, but they go through many surgeries to kind of make themselves a perfect woman. And me personally, I don't really believe that it's necessary. I think it's what's in your heart. If you truly believe in your heart that you're a woman, that's what you are. That's who you are. And you don't have to have the plastic surgery to prove that. It's what you believe inside that makes you a woman. And I've always known that from the start. Certainly I would love to have the gender reassignment surgery, but I don't feel I need to have breast augmentation. I don't believe I need to have facial feminization. Certainly if I had the money and I wanted to be the beautiful woman, I would definitely consider those surgeries. But I don't have the money, so I have to make do with what I can, and I'm happy with myself. I know I'm a girl, I know that. So I don't have to go all the way and do those surgeries, even though it's academic, because I can't afford them anyway. But, and I'm not criticizing trans girls that do the surgeries. I think that's great. If you want to do that, that's perfectly okay. I have no, I don't have any objections to that. I think you should do what makes you happy and feel comfortable in your own body and skin. And I think that's great. And like I said, if I could do it, I would. But I'm content. And I've come to terms with my own situation. And, put me in a pretty dress. This is a dress I bought recently, and I just love it. I adore this dress. And it makes me feel so happy and comfortable. I love kind of wearing short dresses. I'm really I dress like very girly. and I love dresses and being extremely feminine and just living as a woman and experience life as a woman. And I find myself attracted to guys. Even though I'm married, I have a wife. Um, I think it's part of the hormonal process, being on estrogen, that male to female transgender girls do find guys kind of interesting and exciting and attractive. And certainly I would love to have a boyfriend if that was possible. Um, but I would feel kind of awkward since I didn't have the sex reassignment surgery. So I think that is kind of something that I have to take into consideration in the future. But I think guys are cool, and I met a lot of nice guys who are very accepting of my situation, and I've gone to movies with guys, and I'm just friends with them basically, but they accept me, and they know my situation. I think it's a very complicated thing when you're transgender if you're serious about dating, which I'm not. And I think that most trans girls have to kind of figure out what works for them. All I know is, and I have seen videos on YouTube, actually I saw a good video tonight which I favorited and put on my Pinterest and my Facebook page about a trans girl who is very feminine looking. She looks beautiful, and she's transitioned. I don't know if she's had the surgery. She didn't say one way or the other, but she was talking about her experiences in dating men, she's attracted to men. She's a heterosexual woman, trans woman, and she had some good advice, and I listened intently to her video and found it very interesting, and certainly I could relate and benefit from it myself. But like I said, I'm not really dating. I'm married, and I love my wife. But if things happened, there are situations we can't prevent, and my wife is unhappy with my transitioning, and I am sympathetic to her situation and kind of would accept if she requested a divorce. I don't know what direction she'll go in, but I hope not. But I think that could be a possibility, and then I would have to kind of reorient myself and figure out what to do. I'm hoping that won't happen. I do love my wife sincerely. I can't help who I am personally, and no matter how hard I tried in the past, it didn't work for me. I was very much a woman, and I knew that, and I knew it since a young age, so it's not something that just happened overnight. It's been a part of me for my whole life, basically, and I think that once you come to accept that and come to terms with it, things will look up for you, and you'll start to be happier once you begin your transition. Transitioning is an awakening, and it's a wonderful, amazing journey of self-discovery, and when you come to accept yourself, you'll find eventually that others will accept you also. I think self-acceptance is critical and the key when you transition, and you have to come to realize there's nothing wrong with being transgender. There are a lot of people that are transgender, and they're just trying to do the best they can in their lives also. And then there are the super successful transgender people who are well known, and you would never know that they were born, in the case of male to female, that they were born male. They looked so beautiful as women, and a lot of them are models. So it's an amazing thing. I wish, I was young enough and that I could model, but I'm too short and I'm older now, so that's not really a possibility for me. But it would have been a great thing if I transitioned earlier, like 16 or 17 or 18, and had a goal towards modeling. And, well, I'm into the fashion. I love women's dresses and clothing, and I think Pinterest is a good avenue, because it allows you to find images and pin them to boards you create. And I have several boards dedicated to transgender, to my own personal experiences as being transgender, to beautiful women, to dresses, to fashion, um, and I find it fascinating. I enjoy it. It's therapeutic, and it's a way to make friends also. I have a lot of followers, and I think that's pretty cool. Um, and I'm gonna, be active with that, and have, keep posting, because it's a good avenue of doing things and having fun and just experiencing, you know, um, images and beauty, photography. Um, I do appreciate photography. I'm pretty new to making videos. I've only been doing it for about 2 years now, and I'm getting a little better with the video process. In the past, I used to hold the camera into the mirror, but now I'm standing the camera in a stationary position, speaking into the camera, so it makes the image more clearer. I had some difficulties on a couple of videos where they came out blurry, and I'm not really sure why that happened, and I'm praying to God that this video comes out clear. But I think it's very important to express myself and to share my story with people. I'm not ashamed of who I am. I'm not ashamed to be transgender, and I think it's a wonderful gift. And I just am happy. The thing I have to work on is my voice, of course. I really hope to have a more feminine voice. I've tried to develop a feminine voice. I tried to talk softly and more breathy, and put more air into my voice. But it's very hard to continually talk like this, and it seems pretentious. I want to be realistic when I speak. So that's why I'm taking voice lessons. But from my first lesson, I haven't really developed the techniques yet. But I'm looking forward to